You know that meme with the guy who's got the yellow suit on and he's looking around the tree like this, rubbing his hands together, and he's anxious and like looking right around the corner of something that's coming? I feel like that describes what the investors are doing here in Florida with the way that the real estate market is currently behaving. They're anxiously awaiting what good deals are out there. And actually, we've already seen a lot of amazing deals. We've got quite a few buyers that are under contract of amazing deals that you would not have seen in years past. And so we're going to break down what's going on in the overall real estate market. My goal is to always bring you the reality. I'm not going to make it look overly, better than it is. I'm not going to make it look worse than it is. We're going to give you the truth of what's happening here in the market in Florida. My name is Brad Dohak with Gulf Point Properties. We've been doing this for a long time here in Southwest Florida, and we want to bring you the best information that we can to help you make the decisions for yourself. So I do this monthly market report on a monthly basis, clearly, but I also do other videos throughout the area. So if you could do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will be inspired to do more videos like this for you, and let's dig into the actual information. So what is going on? Are the headlines accurate with what's happening here in Southwest Florida? We have a great network of agents around the state, but we primarily serve Southwest Florida. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what's going on in Lee County, which is primarily Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Lehigh Acres, Estero, and Bonita Springs, as well as Collier County, which is primarily Naples and Marco Island. Year over year, we're looking at it. Single family homes that have sold. We have 340 that sold in Collier County. That's down 6% year over year. 927 in Lee County, which is down 9% year over year. So both of them are down a bit compared to last year. If you've watched these videos, you understand that the height of our selling was really in 2021. That was a blockbuster year. And since then, each year has been a little less, a little less, a little less, a little less. And then now, 2025, we're still a little bit less than where we were in 2024. And clearly, these statistics show that that's happening. Now, when it comes to the pricing of the real estate, this is what's really interesting. There's been turbulence. There's been headwinds around real estate prices for quite some time. But the resilience is actually what's quite impressive. We have the median price in Collier County for a single family home over the course of the past 30 days was $925,000. That is up 4% compared to last year, and that is exactly even with where we were last month. So interesting that that's holding so well. Lee County, median price point is $416,000 for a single family home, so less than half of what it is in Collier County, and that is down 1% year over year. Here's what's interesting. Last month, if you watched the video, it was at $399,500. So the median price has actually increased in Lee County, Florida, again, in spite of the headwinds, in spite of what the national news, in spite of what the headlines are, we are still appreciating. That's what's actually happening there. When it comes to days on market, this is really interesting for us to watch. Days on market in Collier County is at 66 days on market before somebody should expect a contract on the property. That's down 10% compared to last year, and it's actually 58 days in Lee County, which is down 9% compared to last year. So both are lower days on market than where they were last year. Now, that being said, the days on market is only reported for the properties that do go under contract. There are plenty of homes that are sitting on longer than those 2 months that we just talked about, and some that just never sell, some that go expired or terminated or withdrawn, different statuses in our multiple listing service. And so, how is this happening? The smart sellers right now who if they have a great pricing strategy, they're still selling fairly quickly. But let's say that they missed the mark. Let's say they went to the market and they were overpriced. We're seeing about 10 to 11% of our overall market take a price reduction on a weekly basis. And that strategy is getting ahead of what they think is happening. And so that is working in order for buyers to come to be able to buy the property. It's actually decreasing the days on market for the properties that do sell. So the smart sellers are making the moves necessary to move the property quicker rather than later. Now, as far as new listings go, we have 840 new listings in Collier County. It's up 1.3% year over year. Not a big change there. And then in Lee County, it's 2,351 homes that came on the market, which is actually up 9% compared to last year. So we have quite a bit more that are coming on the market this year compared to where we were last year. Now, pending inventory, this is what is going to tell us what's going to happen around the closed sales in the future. So this is how many homes are currently pending under contract. Right now we're at 599 in Collier County. That's down 19% compared to last year at the same time. And then 1,836 in Lee County, which is down 10%. So both of those numbers are lower than where they were last year. That means that we can expect the future sales to be lower in the coming months. Month supply of inventory for single family homes, 10.7 months of inventory. It's up 39% compared to last year. And then in Lee County, we're at 8.8 months worth of inventory, which is up 35% compared to last year. So the supply is higher. We have significantly more properties that are available on the market. Actually, we're just about to creep over to the 25,000 properties on the market, which is significant because in 2022 we started that year with about 2,900. It's actually 2,922, I believe, is what we started with in January of 2022. So we knew at that time the prices were going to go through the roof because we had, going into our high season, didn't have much to sell. Now we have 25,000 on the market, which around 20 to 22 is pretty typical for us before COVID, and then COVID came and changed all of those things, and that's why we went so low in inventory. And so right now we're on the upper end of what I would consider healthy. You know, it's a little unhealthy with the amount of inventory, and there is no question that it has become way more of a buyer's market than it has been in the past. So who is winning right now? Well, I'll tell you, builders will always sell their property, especially the big builders. They need to keep investors happy. They need to keep the inventory flying. A lot of the bigger builders are offering 4.99% interest rates, which is very enticing to buyers compared to the high sixes or so that they'll be quoted if they're trying to get a mortgage by themselves. They're also offering a lot of incentives when it comes to closing costs. They're also offering, in some instances, free pools or six figures, $100,000 plus off of the list price of properties to keep them moving. So I'm seeing a lot of amazing opportunities that are around when it comes to new construction. I'm also seeing significant possibility for investors to win when it comes to high-rise condos. We've talked about it in my videos in the past where the high-rise condos over the course of the past year and a half have had significant assessments to the owners, and we're seeing scenarios where people who may even own the properties outright can't afford how high the dues have become. And so the prices have been affected in a big way, and so we're starting to see some really good deals that are coming on the market there. So people who would never even think about being able to be on the beach, now the beach can be certainly an option, but there's the risk, right? People are afraid of the risk of hurricanes, and so that's why we have some timidity in that market, and people are a little gun shy around making those offers because of that potential in the future. So we all hope that that's not going to be a very strong hurricane season. I've seen predictions where it says it's going to be lower than normal, predictions where it's going to be higher than normal, but at the end of the day, nobody knows the truth and how that's going to shake out. What I will say is most of those new construction opportunities that we talked about are further inland. You know, they're not in a designated flood zone, many of them. They have brand new, you know, they're built to brand new code, so they've got hurricane protection, the roof, you know, the roofs are built to the latest standards, etc. And so your insurance costs are less. And so new construction really is doing a good job of winning in this current environment, and it's been winning for quite some time. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Where is the market headed? Please post that in the comments below. And as always, if you have any questions about real estate, me and my team are here to be able to help you throughout the course of that process. Talk soon.